You have a roof over your head and walls thick enough to block the radiation, but you are missing the most critical element of survival, the tools. In a world where the infrastructure has dissolved, your inventory is the only thing standing between you and the void. Most people believe they can scavenge what they need after the sirens stop, but by then, the air itself is a poison. Survival is not about having the most gear, it is about having the right data and the specialized hardware to manage a radioactive reality. Today, we open the survival inventory. We move from passive hiding to active existence. Before we dive into the essential checklist, make sure you are subscribed to know all aspects on YouTube and following us on Facebook. Your support allows us to keep providing this scientific blueprint. Like, comment, and share this video to ensure this knowledge reaches those who need it most. Let us begin the inventory. Welcome to episode 5 of the Atomic Blueprint. We have secured the bunker. Now we must secure the tools. The first and most important item in your inventory is the radiation detector. Without a Geiger counter or a survey meter, you are effectively blind. Gamma radiation cannot be seen, smelled, or tasted. You could be standing in a lethal plume and never know it until the symptoms of radiation sickness begin. You need a device that can measure both the dose rate and the cumulative dose. In this section, we analyze the difference between a Geiger-Müller tube and a personal dosimeter. A Geiger counter tells you how hot an area is right now, while a dosimeter tracks how much radiation your body has absorbed over time. Both are non-negotiable. However, electronic devices are vulnerable to the electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. If your detector is not stored in a Faraday cage during the initial blast, it may become a useless piece of plastic. Your inventory must also include analog detection methods, such as chemical color change badges, which do not rely on circuitry. Alongside detection, you need communication hardware. A hand-cranked emergency radio that covers the AM, FM, and weather bands is your only link to the outside world. Look for a model that also has a solar panel and a flashlight integrated into the frame. This ensures that even if your batteries fail, you can still receive emergency broadcasts and military instructions. Information is just as vital as oxygen in the aftermath. You must also stock spare vacuum tubes or protected components if you are technically inclined. The goal is to maintain situational awareness when the digital grid is dark. Beyond the hardware, your inventory must contain a specialized medical kit. This is not a standard first aid box. This is a tactical radiation kit. The centerpiece of this kit is potassium iodide. As we discussed in previous episodes, radioactive iodine is one of the primary isotopes released in a nuclear event. Your thyroid gland will naturally absorb this iodine, leading to cancer or organ failure. By taking a dose of stable potassium iodide, you saturate your thyroid, preventing it from taking in the radioactive version. However, timing is everything. You must only take it when the fallout is imminent, and it only protects the thyroid, not the rest of your body. In addition to thyroid protection, your inventory should include anti-nausea medication and antidiarrheal agents. Radiation sickness often begins with severe gastrointestinal distress, which leads to rapid dehydration. In a bunker environment, dehydration is a silent killer. You must also stock trauma supplies, such as hemostatic agents and pressure bandages, to treat injuries sustained during the initial blast wave. Sanitation chemicals are equally important. Stock heavy-duty bleach, high-concentration alcohol, and surgical soap. Infection in a post-nuclear world is difficult to treat without a functioning hospital system. You must become your own medic. Look into stocking antibiotics that have a long shelf life and learn the dosages for radiation-related secondary infections. Your survival depends on your ability to maintain your biological integrity while the world outside is breaking down. Stock at least a 30-day supply of any personal prescriptions, as the supply chain will be non-existent for months. The psychological and practical impact of total darkness cannot be overstated. In an urban bunker, the power grid will likely stay down for years, not days. Your inventory must prioritize a multi-layered lighting strategy. Start with high-efficiency LED headlamps. These allow you to keep your hands free for maintenance and tasks. Stock extra lithium batteries, as they have a shelf life of up to 20 years, far superior to alkaline versions. Beyond LED tech, you need long-burning candles and chemical light sticks. Light sticks are essential for marking dangerous areas or exit paths, as they require no oxygen and produce no heat, making them safe in confined spaces with limited ventilation. For energy production, look into portable solar folding panels. During the endurance phase, you can briefly place these outside to recharge your radio and flashlights. However, you must also consider the fuel for your internal systems. Your inventory needs a reliable way to boil water and heat food without creating carbon monoxide. A small butane or propane camp stove is effective, but you must have a ventilation plan. Fuel is a finite resource. Treat it like gold. Stock several lighters and waterproof matches in airtight containers. Fire is not just for heat, it is for sterilization and morale. In the cold darkness of a basement. A small flame can be the difference between despair and the will to continue. Also, consider a secondary energy source, such as a high-capacity power bank stored in your Faraday cage. This can act as a buffer for your smaller electronics. Energy management is a discipline. You must calculate your consumption versus your storage capacity every day. Light is a luxury you must earn through careful preparation. We now address the physical fuel of the survivor, water and food. Water is your most immediate need. You must stock at least 1 gallon per person per day for a minimum of 14 days. However, storage is only half the battle. You must also have the tools to purify water that may be contaminated with biological pathogens or heavy metals. Stock a combination of mechanical filters and chemical purifiers like iodine tablets. Note that standard filters do not remove dissolved radioactive isotopes. For that, you need distillation or reverse osmosis. Since these are energy heavy, your primary strategy should be to stock as much clean water as possible before the fallout arrives. Food inventory should focus on high-calorie, shelf-stable items that require little to no water for preparation. Canned meats, peanut butter, and dried fruits are excellent. Avoid foods that increase thirst, such as overly salty crackers. Focus on nutrient density. Multivitamin supplements are essential to prevent scurvy and other deficiencies during long-term confinement. Your nutrition plan must account for the high metabolic stress of a crisis. You will burn calories faster due to anxiety and physical labor. Use a first-in, first-out rotation system for your stock to ensure nothing expires. Keep your food in galvanized steel bins to protect it from rodents and to provide a small amount of extra radiation shielding. The geometry of your storage can even contribute to your micro-shielding walls. Calculate your total caloric needs and add a 20% buffer. In the aftermath, a full stomach is the foundation of a clear mind. Do not neglect the importance of comfort foods, like chocolate or coffee, to maintain morale during the darkest hours of the wait. The final part of your inventory is for the maintenance of your physical environment. You need a heavy-duty repair kit. Duct tape, plastic sheeting, and silicone sealant are the tools that will keep your bunker air filtered and your shields intact. If a seal breaks, the inventory you have gathered will be exposed to the dust. Keep a set of basic hand tools, a pry bar, a hammer, and a multi-tool. These are essential for fortifying your center of mass or clearing debris. This concludes Episode 5, the Survival Inventory. We have covered the hardware, the medicine, the energy, and the fuel. If this checklist has helped you prepare, please like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to know all aspects on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook as we continue the series. In Episode 6, we will move into the most dangerous phase, the first exit. We will analyze the science of how to leave your shelter, how to scout for resources, and how to navigate a landscape that has been fundamentally altered by the fire. The world you left is gone. The world you step into will require a completely different set of rules. We will teach you how to time your movements using the data from your Geiger counter and the decay curves of the isotopes. The long wait is ending, and the reconstruction is about to begin. Make sure your boots are ready and your inventory is packed. The blueprint is moving into the light. Stay grounded, stay prepared, and stay vigilant. Knowledge is the only armor that never breaks. This is Know All Aspects. We are your voice in the silence. Stay safe until the next revelation.